Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Bianca. I am the founder of Neurospark. I'm a mind-body practitioner, a coach, a speaker, and I work in the realm of mental well-being and chronic illness recovery. In this module, we are going to look at why it is essential as business owners to look after ourselves. And I put myself in this category too as a founder of a relatively new business. I know how challenging it can be. In the early stages of business, you are often learning as you go. There are longer hours, there is decision fatigue. You may be transitioning from full-time employment and there is a lot of juggling between time and energy and just staying on top of daily life. This can lead to a lot of stress. And don't get me wrong, being ambitious, being determined is a huge positive. If starting business was that easy, then everyone would be doing it. But these same qualities can also get us a bit stuck and out of balance if we are not prioritizing our well-being first. If we are not taking time to listen into our body's cues, if we are not making time for our own well-being, we fall into patterns of chronic stress. And I want to make it clear that chronic stress is a lot different than acute stress. When we head into chronic stress, we are putting ourselves at risk for burnout. So it's important that we recognize the signs before it gets to that point. So from here, I'm going to make you aware of some signs that may indicate that you are heading towards chronic stress and burnout, and then I'm going to go into what you can do about it. Okay, the first sign that you may be under prolonged chronic stress is fatigue. Of course, this is normal from time to time for all of us, but the red flag is when you are consistently waking up feeling fatigued, either mentally or physically. Mentally, you may be experiencing more brain fog and you feel like you just don't have that mental capacity to do what you could usually do. Perhaps you're reaching for your fourth coffee just to get you through the day. You also might just find yourself feeling more irritated with requests and interactions between family and friends. As well as the mental fatigue, there is the physical fatigue. And under chronic stress, that physical fatigue may feel like heaviness in your limbs. You may be sleeping, but when you wake up, you're just not feeling refreshed like you usually would. The second sign that you may be under chronic stress and heading towards burnout is that you feel the need to disconnect more. Under chronic stress, we can instinctually want to isolate ourselves from family and friends. And as a business owner, you may just feel like you don't have the time and energy to do all of the outside of work social activities and find yourself wanting to isolate more. But then when you do isolate, perhaps you are checking emails, replying to people, and trying to stay on top of work. This is where isolation can show up. And I'm really going to highlight this point because being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, that can already feel isolating and lonely at times. Given that a lot of us also work from home, it's an isolating journey. So when we tend to isolate outside of work hours, that can really exacerbate the issue. The third sign of chronic stress is just a lack of motivation. You may have lost enthusiasm for things that usually would bring you joy, or you're just no longer feeling lit up by the vision or the business that once drove you. So when we get into this space, we start to procrastinate, and when you think about the future, there's just a block there. The fourth sign is that under chronic stress and burnout, self-care starts to diminish. It starts to lack. Because of the internal and external demands of being a business owner, self-care often isn't seen as a priority. You may find yourself skipping meals, just not exercising, not prioritizing sleep, all of these little things that start to add up. And finally, the fifth sign, one that I often think gets forgotten about or not talked about enough, the one that I'm an expert at, is that under chronic stress and burnout, you may start to experience new physical symptoms. You may start to get new health issues just pop up out of nowhere. Headaches, stomach issues, aches and pains, digestive issues, skin rashes. All of these things are a result of living in this chronic state of stress. Okay, so you've just listened to me go over 5 common signs that you may be under chronic stress. And if you're sitting there thinking, yep, I think I resonated with 4 or 5 of those, what do I do now? The first step is simply just to acknowledge where you are at. This is not a sign of weakness. There is no shame attached to it. If we can acknowledge where we're at, then we can at least do something about it. From here, I'm going to share some simple tips that I would start to focus on. I recommend picking 1 or 2 and just starting from there. The first recommendation, an antidote to chronic stress and burnout, is connection and community. Exactly what you are already doing on this platform. The power of community is invaluable, and you may want to look for more support with coaches, with mentors, finding support from people that know where you are at, people that you can learn from, people that have also navigated the same sorts of issues, or just people that can give you a fresh perspective. In terms of family and friends and home life, take that time to pre-schedule in calls, to pre-schedule in quality time so that it becomes a non-negotiable. The second tip is to practice boundaries. I think this one is the most important of them all, because when you are trying to juggle an enormous amount of things, when you can't say no, this is a recipe for burnout. We are not designed to be on, responding and reacting 24/7 to everyone else's needs. When we say yes without hesitation, whether it be to a task or to a person, it means that we have to say no to something else. You might say yes to getting a task done because you know that you do it fast and you know you just do a good job. But you may also be missing an opportunity to delegate that task or seek some support to get the task done so that you can strategically free up more time and focus in on other areas of the business. I think boundary setting is something that we can all practice. So ask yourself, where can I tighten up on my boundaries? Is it with my digital boundaries and my screen time? Is it with communication and responding to clients? And I find that sometimes my boundaries slip when the list of things that I want to get done outweighs my current capacity. So if you relate to this, look at adjusting your current expectations to suit your current situation and capacity. The third tip is just to focus on building simple daily self-care habits. Prioritizing sleep, moving your body in a way that feels good for you, making sure that you are nourishing your body with good food. All of the basics are really important for our nervous system. The fourth tip is actually scheduling in time to do the things that you love. I know sometimes being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, it can feel all-encompassing to the point that it feels just like it is completely us. But I can assure you it's only a part of who you are. And it is so important to also keep doing the creative pursuits, the fun pursuits that really light you up. There is this quote that's always stuck with me that says, often you feel tired, not because you have done too much, but because you are doing too little of what really sparks a light in you. And that is exactly it. Make sure you are doing and prioritizing the things that bring you joy. Finally, the fifth tip, the most important, is to seek support. Seek support from people that are willing and able to help you get back on track, to help you find balance, to come up with a personalized plan. There's people out there like me who offer individual coaching, workplace coaching that can really tailor it to your needs. There are mental health professionals, there are doctors, there are people out there that understand the impacts of chronic stress and burnout that can help get you back on track. I hope you found today's module interesting. If you are listening and you're really resonating with what I'm saying, you're looking for support, you're looking for tools to enhance your mental well-being, to regulate your nervous system, then please get in touch. And don't forget how important it is to look after yourself first if you want to build a sustainable business so that you can give to others, you can perform well and reach your business goals.